So when two civil liberties alarms go off within 48 hours, that's not noise, that's a signal. And if we care about the foundation we're standing on, we should pay attention. So let's start with this. On Tuesday, October 14th, the U.S. State Department announced it revoked 6 visas from foreign nationals who had posted online about the situation involving the Turning Point founder. I'm going to say it that way in hopes that I don't, get the ban. The examples the department shared weren't threats. They were celebratory or mocking in tone. And still, the government said that kind of expression was enough to trigger immigration consequences. It's easy to shrug this off, to say, well, they're not citizens. But courts have long held that non-citizens lawfully present in the U.S. still have First Amendment protections. And when a government action appears to target someone purely because of their opinion, not their actions, it touches on a core civic principle, that speech shouldn't be punished based on viewpoint. Civil liberties groups are calling this an act of viewpoint discrimination. And legally, challenges may run into a wall because courts often defer to the government on visa decisions. But the warning signs are there. And then, the very next day, Wednesday, October 15th, the Supreme Court heard arguments in a major case out of Louisiana that could rewrite how we protect voting rights in this country. At the heart of it is Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, the part that lets you challenge maps that dilute the voting power of racial minorities, even if you can't prove intent. Since the court's 2013 decision in Shelby County ended routine federal oversight of new election laws, Section 2 has become the main tool for protecting representation. But now, some justices are signaling they may want to raise the bar. And if they do, it could become harder to prove that maps, even ones that divide up or minimize communities, are unlawful. And that shift would give states more leeway to sideline certain voters, especially in fast-changing districts. And if that sounds familiar, it should, because after Reconstruction, we saw decades of so-called race-neutral laws, poll taxes, literacy tests, redistricting games, all designed to keep power in the same hands. This is a pattern. We've seen it before. When those in power feel threatened, they change the rules, whether it's speech or votes. And the founders warned us about this. James Madison in Federalist 10 called it the danger of majority faction, when the people with the most votes use the power to strip rights from everyone else. That's why we wrote down certain rights. That's why we built guardrails. So here's the question. If the government can pull your visa over what you said, and the courts can make it harder to protect your vote, what happens to the promise that rights don't depend on who's in power? And if questions like that matter to you, I'm hosting a 30-minute Zoom salon on Thursday, November 6th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The topic is The Wisdom We Forgot, Small Truths for a Fractured Time. I'll open with a short reading and reflection, and then we'll talk openly. It's not a performance, it's a true discussion. There are just a few spots left, I think 4. So you can sign up at the link that you see here on screen, and I hope to see you there.